In kindergarten, the school was called Mission Bell in Harupa, California. Maybe it was called Harupa Valley. I think it was just called Harupa, right by Mariloma, which is no longer Mariloma. I don't know what it's called anymore. But it was very terrible. I remember I had a teacher. Her name was Mrs. Prince, and she was extremely abusive and cruel to me all the time. And when I would ask her a question, as far as is it possible for there to be so much stuff in one space that it could actually rip a hole and um, no longer allow, any more stuff, is what I said, not understanding matter. And she never understood my questions, so she would get angry and yell at me and always put a note on my back saying that I was bad today. And then we had this guy, Simon. And Simon used to always make all the little girls take off their shoes and smell and tickle their feet. And nothing was ever done about this stuff. But when I was struggling in class, because they were just talking about stupid stuff. And I was thinking, why aren't they telling us or teaching us anything? So one day, they wanted to have a meeting about me, and the principal there always beat the children. He always beat the children, and he always give them spankings. And it was a very abusive school. And they were always threatening to hurt us and harm us in some ways if we didn't do something better. So which now that I think of it, Mrs. Prince loved my sister, who was a psychopath, and she was a very, very bad kid. So that says a lot about her, and it also makes sense why she was so cruel to me once my sister was out of school and I went in. So, anyways, what happened was they gave me some test, and in there were different pictures. There were three pictures each, and it said which ones match up. And I said, well, what do I do? They said, just figure it out. So my mom said, well, she was talking to the principal. And I remember at that moment, I just marked random ones off, and they were upset because they said that, nothing was correct and that I wasn't, psychologically I wasn't well. And my mom just got angry. It's like, are you sure that's your answers? Try it again. Do better. And the reason I did that is because once they put it here's something. Figure out something yourself. What I got from that was, okay, I guess this is just going to be life. I'm never going to get guidance. They're never going to teach me anything. They're never going to help me with anything. That's Minnesota Mike Golf Lima, space 311. Um, but they're never going to help me with anything. So as soon as I do whatever work, even if I try my best, I get beaten or I get yelled at. And I did not, at that point I realized that there was no point in doing any work, whether it was right or wrong. I what was supposed to happen is they're going to come yell at me. They put something in front of me. I do whatever. Then they get mad at me. That's what life was about. That's what they taught me through conditioning of years of abuse. But that's the reason I just didn't take it seriously, is because I was taught not to take anything seriously and just to hurry up and do that so they can continue on with harming me. That's how I was conditioned. So it's important to understand children, to pay attention to them. And this is one thing people don't do. Listen to them, listen to those kids, and understand where they're coming from. I am just shocked by how many people refuse to listen to kids and completely refuse to try and understand them. These adults just want to play games and be on their phone, and they allow these young minds, these precious young children who need love, compassion, and guidance, just to be abandoned. And they'll be like, oh, I'm in the same room with them while they're on their phone doing stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you're not really there. And you know that. They just don't care about kids anymore. But I'm just throwing this out there to see if anyone can relate. I'm really curious.